A look back to Austrian royal brides' wedding attires. Royal wedding dresses are more than just garments, they embody tradition, symbolism, and cultural significance. Wedding dresses often reflect the cultural and historical traditions of the royal family, showcasing their heritage and legacy. The dress can symbolize the bride's commitment, purity, and new role within the royal family. Also, the dress represents the royal family's values, style, and elegance, reflecting their status and position. Some royal wedding dresses are passed down through generations, becoming treasured family heirlooms. Floral arrangements and bouquets were also an essential part of the wedding attire, with many bridesmaids carrying white floral headdresses. The choice of fabric, lace, and jewelry added to the overall elegance and sophistication of the wedding attire. The House of Habsburg, Lorraine, and Austria Est is known for their exquisite taste in wedding attire. Let's take a look at some of the stunning wedding dresses worn by the royal brides. Archduchess Marie-Helene of Austria 1976. Archduke Rudolph and Archduchess Marie-Helene of Austria were civilly married on the 28th of June, 1976 at Overijse, Belgium. Their religious wedding took place on the 3rd of July, 1976 at Brussels. The bride wore a traditional, full-length silhouette with a wide, flowing skirt that extends into a train behind the bride. The sleeves are long and full, gathering at the wrists, creating a voluminous leg-o-mutton sleeve style. It features lace detailing at the cuffs with high stand-up collar, modest rounded neckline. The bride wears a long veil, which cascades down her back, and a Princess Yolanda diamond floral tiara. Archduchess Alexandra of Austria, married 1984. Archduchess Alexandra of Austria, daughter of Archduke Karl Ludwig, married Chilean ambassador Hector Riesel Contreras on September 15, 1984, in the chapel of the Austrian embassy in Chile. The wedding ceremony was a Catholic affair, as both Alexandra and Hector were Catholic, and it was followed by a reception. The bride wore a white Duchess silk dress, with classic, elegant design with long sleeves and a high neckline with little puff shoulders, suggesting a formal and traditional aesthetic. A long, flowing veil covers the bride's hair and shoulders, adding a traditional bridal element. The veil is held in place by her mother Princess Yolanda diamond tiara. On the 11th of February, 1990, Archduchess Sophie of Austria, daughter of Archduke Ferdinand Karl of Austria and Countess Helene zu Touraine-Jettenbach, married Mariano Hugo, Prince of Windischgrätz, son of Prince Maximilian Antonius and Donna Maria Luisa Serra di Gerace, at Salzburg in Austria. For her wedding, Valentino was the perfect choice for her bow-adorned white silk gown. The dress features a traditional ball gown silhouette, with a fitted bodice and a full, flowing skirt that extends into a train. The gown has long sleeves, giving it a modest and refined appearance. A high, rounded neckline is visible, adding to the gown's classic and regal aesthetic. The bride wears a long, sheer veil that drapes over her shoulders and extends beyond the length of the gown. The gown appears to be unadorned with elaborate embellishments, emphasizing the luxurious fabric and clean lines for a timeless look. She paired the decadent design with a family heirloom, the Vladimir fringe tiara, which originally belonged to her great-grandmother, Grand Duchess Elena Vladimirovna of Russia. Archduchess Walburga of Austria, married 1992. On the 5th of December, 1992 in Budapest, Hungary, Walburga married a Swedish nobleman, Count Carl Axel Archibald Douglas, son of Count Archibald Douglas and Baroness Margareta Lagerfeld. Her husband's family is a noble family in Sweden, descended from the Scot Robert Douglas, Count of Skenning, member of the Scottish clan Douglas and founder of its Swedish branch. The family's comital title, conferred by Queen Christina of Sweden in 1654, is legally recognized in the country of Sweden. The bride wore a high-necked white satin gown, with long sleeves. It features high neckline, puffed shoulders and a fitted bodice, with some gathering and pleating in the midsection. A black bow with a circular embellishment the left side of the bodice. The sleeves are full length, and the skirt appears to be flowing, extending to the floor. The bride wore a lace veil and diamond head ornament adorned with jewels, and silver-toned, stud-style earrings featuring multiple faux gem embellishments. Baroness Francesca Thyssen-Bornemisser, married 1993. On January 31, 1993, Karl von Habsburg married Baroness Francesca Thyssen-Bornemisser in a wedding ceremony at the Mariazell Basilica. The event was notable for being a royal wedding where the groom was the head of a former imperial family and the bride was from a wealthy aristocratic family. The marriage did not receive family approbation. None of Archduke Otto's 4 brothers attended the wedding citing illness or unable to attend. Nor did their children. 43 members of the Habsburg family sent written complaints to Otto about the marriage as all considered Francesca to not be of equal rank. The dissent may also have had something to do with her much-married and very rich father and Chess's pre-marriage behavior as a social powerhouse in London. The bride wore a Versace gown of white satin, suggesting a classic bridal aesthetic, given the formal nature of the event. The gown features a full skirt, characteristic of a ball gown, A-line silhouette, and a fitted corset-like design bodice. The sleeves are long and fitted, suitable for the winter setting of the wedding. The dress embodies a classic, elegant, and regal style, fitting for a royal wedding, and is designed to provide warmth in a snowy environment. She wore 200-years-old Habsburg long flowing lace veil, which extends beyond the length of the dress, adding to the ceremonial grandeur. She also wore Habsburg pearl and diamond bandeau tiara, securing her veil and complementing the formal attire. On her hands, she wore white gloves and carrying a small, ornate clutch that is also white and features a decorative element on the front. A delicate piece of jewelry, a necklace, is visible on her chest. Archduchess Maria Constanza of Austria married 1994. Archduchess Maria Constanza, daughter of Archduke Karl Ludwig of Austria and Princess Yolanda of Line. Archduchess Maria Constanza of Austria married Prince Franz Joseph von Auersperg-Trautzen in Brussels on September 10, 1994. The wedding was a notable royal event of the 1990s. A ball was held the evening before the wedding at the Château de Belluel. The day before the wedding a ball took place at Belluel Castle. The bride wore for the occasion a dress designed by Scherer. The church where the wedding took place is considered one of the most beautiful Gothic church in Belgium. The bride arrived with her father, Archduke Carlos of Austria. Her white satin wedding gown was designed by Gerald Wortlett, a Belgian couturier. The gown featured a high, rounded neckline and long sleeves. The sleeves and the upper part of the dress were made of delicate lace, which covered a satin underdress. The skirt was made of rich, plain satin that flowed to the floor. She wore a large, elaborate lace and tulle veil over her hair, which was topped with a Habsburg diamond tiara. The tiara is described as a predominantly gold tiara decorated with pearls and diamonds. The piece features a substantial gold base with several floral motifs. A large central floral spray is set with diamonds and features a prominent natural pearl at its center. The tiara is completed with 2 smaller floral sprays and small terminals. As a family tiara belonging to the House of Habsburg, it is part of a broader collection of Austrian royal jewels that has been passed down through generations. The Archduchess carried a cascade bouquet of white flowers. The wedding was attended by several royal guests and relatives from various European royal families. Archduchess Katarina of Austria married 1999. On May 22, 1999, Archduke Ferdinand Zvonimir of Austria married Countess Katharina Tita von Hardenberg at the Friedenskirche, Church of Peace, in a non-denominational ceremony. Archduke Ferdinand is the son of Archduke Heinrich von Habsburg and of his wife, Countess Ludmilla von Galen. Countess Katharina is a daughter of Count Andreas von Hardenberg and of Baroness Isa von Hahn. She works as a TV presenter. The couple got married in a Lutheran ceremony at the Friedenkirche in Potsdam, Germany, on May 22, 1999, although the union was also blessed in a Catholic ceremony prior to the Lutheran one. After the church, a reception was held at the Ritz-Carlton. The civil wedding took place 2 days before. The bride wore a classic and elegant style off-white silk taffeta gown with a high neck, ruffled collared, and long sleeves, featuring intricate detailing on the bodice and sleeves, adding a delicate texture to the design. The skirt appears to be a full, flowing silhouette, with some pleating, creating a classic and elegant look. Her bridal look complemented by a floral hairstyle and a vibrant bouquet. Archduchess Estelle of Austria married 2007. She married HOH Archduke Karl Christian of Austria. The civil wedding took place in Montgirard, France, on the 18th of April, 2007, followed by a Roman Catholic wedding on the 2nd of June, 2007 in Voiron, France. The bride wore a cream satin wedding dress with distinctive square neckline, which offers a structured and elegant look. It features short, puffed sleeves that are designed to sit off the shoulder, adding a romantic and somewhat vintage touch to the gown. The bodice appears fitted, and waist is cinched and detailed with a gathered fabric band, emphasizing the figure, and flowing A-line skirt that extends to the floor. She wore a long, flowing white veil attached to a Habsburg diamond tiara. A simple pearl necklace is worn around her neck, complementing the classic bridal look. She wore white gloves on her hand, adding to the formal and traditional bridal ensemble. Archduchess Estelle died on March 4, 2025. She was 46 years old. Archduchess Marie Christine of Austria married 2008. Archduchess Marie Christine married Count Rodolphe Christian Leopold on 6 December, 2008. The couple had chosen to marry in Mechelen because it is a town with a rich historical past. The civil wedding at the town hall was attended by close family, friends, and some of the higher royal guests. The groom arrived by car together with his parents. Also, the bride arrived by car together with her parents. The wedding was scheduled to take place at 2:33:00 p.m. Because of the wet streets, as it had been raining heavily from time to time in the afternoon, it wasn't possible to walk the short distance. The bride wore a white satin bridal dress, designed by couturier Yves Dooms from Brussels. Around the wrists there was white fur. The 4 meters long train was covered with a veil of old lace that once belonged to Empress Eugénie, wife of Emperor Napoleon III of France. Before, the lace was also used for the cradle of the son of Emperor Napoleon I of France. She wore the vine leaves tiara belonged to the Grand Ducal family of Luxembourg, and was once in the possession of her great-grandmother Grand Duchess Charlotte of Luxembourg. Archduchess Kathleen Walker, married on 8 September, 2012. Archduke Imre is the son of Archduke Karl Christian of Austria and Archduchess Marie Astrid of Austria, née Princess of Luxembourg. The bride, Kathleen Walker, is originally from Cincinnati, Ohio, and completed a degree in journalism from Northern Kentucky University. The couple married on September 8, 2012 at St. Mary Mother of God Church in Washington, D.C., the same church where they met. Kathleen wore a white satin dress with pleated bodice, lace neckline, and sleeves. She topped this with an antique lace Habsburg veil from her groom's family. A veil have been worn by Empress Eugénie for her wedding to Napoleon III in 1853, also worn by Imre's sister Marie Christine at her wedding in 2008. The bride did not wear the tiara. Instead, the veil was anchored by a triple string of pearls, a very pretty and unique touch. Imre's sister Archduchess Gabriella was one of the bridesmaids. The bridesmaids wore royal blue dresses with flowers in their hair. The flower girls mirrored that look by wearing white dresses with a satin blue sash, while the ring bearers wore all white. The groom and his groomsmen wore mourning dress. The wedding was followed by a reception at the luxurious St. Regis Hotel in Washington, D.C. Archduchess Adelaide Drape-Frisch married 2012. Archduke Christoph of Austria married Adelaide Drape-Frisch in a civil ceremony on December 28, 2012, in Nancy, France, followed by a religious ceremony on December 29, 2012, at the Basilica of St. Ephrem. The event was attended by over 1,000 guests, including members of the Luxembourg Grand Ducal family, and concluded with the couple appearing on the Nancy Town Hall balcony. Christoph is the son of Archduke Karl Christian of Austria and Archduchess Marie Astrid of Austria. The bride Adelaide wedding gown, made by French designer Diane Lellis, was made of Duchesse satin in a pale shade of ivory. The gown was topped by a matching long-sleeved jacket with a fur collar and cuffs, for her December wedding. She wore a family heirloom, an antique lace Habsburg veil, a family piece. Adelaide anchored the veil with the Luxembourg royal family's small diamond floral tiara. The lace veil and floral tiara were a perfect complement to her satin dress. Adelaide also wore a small pair of classic pearl stud earrings. She also carried a bouquet primarily composed of white roses and smaller pink flowers, likely spray roses. Princess Elisabetta Maria married in 2014. Elisabetta Maria weds to Prince Emidio of Belgium, Archduke of Austria Est at Basilica Santa Maria in Trastevere in Rome. Emidio is the son of Archduke Lorenz of Austria Est and Princess Astrid of Belgium. The wedding was attended by members of the Belgian royal family, as well as Italian, Austrian, and British royalty. Elisabetta Maria Rosbach von Wolkenstein's wedding dress, designed by Valentino, featured an ivory point d'esprit tulle high illusion bodice with 3/4-length sleeves and a full skirt, both trimmed with rebrode lace. The dress flowed into a light, sweeping train. She paired the gown with a 5-meter-long veil of the same point d'esprit tulle, also edged with Chantilly lace. She wore the Queen Elizabeth's diamond bandeau tiara, on loan from her husband's grandmother, Queen Paola. This is the same tiara Queen Mathilde borrowed for her wedding in 1999, and the small scale suited Elisabetta very well. I particularly liked the contrast of the graphic Art Deco lines of this tiara with the scalloped lace edging Elisabetta's veil. The young bridesmaids wore white dresses with dark teal pleated collars, sashes, and silk slippers. Their high-contrast ensembles were topped with lovely green and white floral wreaths. The young couple emerged from the basilica with a pair of the widest royal grins we have seen in a long while, such a heartwarming and delightful sight. Archduchess Gabriella married 2020. Archduchess Gabriella of Austria married Prince Henri of Bourbon-Parma on September 12, 2020, in a religious ceremony held at the historical Tratzburg Castle in Jenbach, Austria. Archduchess Gabriella is the daughter of Archduke Karl Christian and Archduchess Marie Astrid of Austria. The bride wore an ivory silk strapless gown with an A-line skirt and a fitted bodice, topped with a cropped lace overlay jacket featuring 3/4 sleeves and a boat neckline. A short train, adorned with approximately 10,000 Swarovski crystals, mainly on the train itself. The gown was designed by Lorenzo Caprile. She paired the gown with a full-length lace veil. The veil's lace pattern was noted to be different from the one worn by her elder sister, Archduchess Marie Christine, in 2008. She also wore Grand Duchess Adelaide tiara, a diamond piece with a leaf and berry motif and a central sapphire, a family heirloom, was used as a wedding tiara for the first time. The couple's daughter, Victoria, looked adorable in traditional regional dress, while other family members in attendance included Gabriella's parents, Archduke Karl Christian and Archduchess Marie Astrid of Austria. Princess Maria Laura married 2022. Princess Maria Laura, daughter of Archduke Lorenz of Austria-Est, and Princess Astrid of Belgium married William Isvy in Brussels on September 10, 2022. The wedding included both a civil ceremony at Brussels City Hall and a religious ceremony at the Cathedral of Saints Michel-et-Dule. The civil ceremony was a private affair with about 35 guests, while the religious ceremony was a grander event with over 500 guests, including the Belgian royal family. For the civil ceremony at Brussels Town Hall, the bride wore a 1960s-inspired ecru mini dress with pleated empire waist by Gucci. Princess Maria Laura paired the dress with modern diamond and pearl drop earrings, the same ones worn by her sister-in-law Princess Elisabetta at her wedding in 2014, and ecru chunky-heeled Gucci pumps. For religious ceremony, the bride turned to British designer Vivienne Westwood for her custom silk gown. Westwood utilized both her corset mastery and inspiration from 18th-century women's fashion for the gown's beautifully draped bodice. The open neckline is anchored with cap sleeves and the gown falls from the hip is reminiscent of ancient Greek statues. It's a gown that relies entirely on construction and drape for its statement. Couture royal gowns are not a new thing, we've seen many, but sometimes they overwhelm the wearer. This one does not. Less successful, I think, is the 4-meter, 13-foot, long train which attaches by a belt at the waist, especially created for Maria Laura, to create the drama and presence needed for the cathedral. Maybe it was the wind on this very blustery, rainy day, but something about the belt attachment doesn't quite work from all angles. The unembellished dress creates a stunning background for the lace veil. Made of exquisite Brussels lace, the floral patterned veil with scalloped edge is a family heirloom originally worn by Queen Paola's Belgian grandmother, Laura Mosselman du Chesnoy, in 1877. After Queen Paola wore it for her 1959 wedding, it has become a tradition for Belgian royal brides we've seen worn previously by Princess Astrid, Queen Mathilde, and Princess Claire. Princess Maria Laura anchored the veil with the Savoy Oster diamond tiara, an heirloom piece from her father's Austrian royal family. It makes for an overall bridal look that's a lovely mix of modernity and tradition, the dress, veil and tiara pairing so beautifully together while incorporating pieces from both sides of her family. The ensemble was completed with diamond drop earrings. Archduchess Natasha of Austria 2023. Archduke Alexander of Austria and Countess Natasha Rumiantsev-Pachkevich were wed at Église Saint-Pierre in Belgium in October 2023. The bride, Countess Natasha, claims to descend from Russian nobility, while the Archduke is the son of Archduke Karl Christian and Archduchess Marie Astrid of Austria. The Countess arrived in a periwinkle blue classic car, on the arm of her father. The bride kept things simple, in a diaphanous long-sleeved dress with lace details and a plunging neckline. Her hair was also a laid-back affair, with half-tied-up loose waves and a floor-length veil attached. Jewelry was kept to a minimum, with pearl drop earrings and a matching necklace and a pearl headpiece. The groom opted for classic chic, with a contrasting morning suit and a red and black striped tie with floral boutonniere. Archduchess Sophie Scheisberg married 2023. Archduke Joseph Albrecht of Austria married Countess Sophie von Scheisberg on Saturday, August 26, 2023, at the parish church St. Johannes Baptist in Sunching, Germany. Countess Sophie wore a lace dress by Spanish designer Lorenzo Capriel. The dress features a square neckline, which offers a structured and elegant look, highlighting the collarbones. The dress has long sleeves, which are also adorned with the same lace detailing as the bodice and skirt, likely with intricate floral or patterned detailing, giving it a rich and traditional appearance. The gown has a full skirt that flares out significantly from the waist, suggesting an ball gown silhouette. Providing a voluminous and classic bridal look, she potentially wore a family-owned train of a different color than the dress, along with a tiny, hardly visible tiara. The wedding was attended by about 600 guests, including members of various royal and noble families from across Europe. The reception was held at a nearby family castle belonging to the bride's mother. The bride is holding a delicate, fan-like accessory, possibly made of lace or a similar material, complementing the dress's design. She also wears earrings and a subtle headpiece or styled hair with curls.